Last December stroke January, I was in Nigeria and I happened to be in Benin City. I went to the Nigerian immigration office to try to renew my passport. And getting there, I met some nice immigration officers and they took my details and even they were helping me to fill out the form. And yeah, it was going well. And then my brother, who went with me, decided to ask this question: when are we going to get the passport? And then I said today, because I was reflecting on how it went when I was in Bayelsa, Yanagua. I applied for a passport there and within less than 1 hour I got my passport. So I was thinking that it's going to be the same, so I said today. And then the immigration officer smiled and said, "Sir, not today." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "We do not have booklets. We do not have booklets and we are going to try to make it as quick as possible, but you will have to go to Warri to collect your passport." I said, "Go to Warri to collect my passport? Why? Why would I go to Warri to collect my passport? And why don't I just go to Warri and do the passport?" He said, "Yeah, that's another option if you want to go to Warri to do your passport. But we are trying to make it quicker here because we will enter your details into our computer system, and all you just do when you get there is to go is to tender the leaflet or the document we will give to you, and this document will hasten it up. They will just give you a passport there." I thought in my mind, since Warri has the same immigration authority like in Benin City, so why would it be quicker filling my documents, the form in Benin City, and then I going to Warri to collect it? So it didn't make sense to me. And my brother just said, let's go. I felt sorry for the immigration officer because he actually was trying to help. I do not blame him. So, however, we resolved the issue and we left. So, I did not have enough time to go to Warri, and even when I asked him, if I go to Warri, would I get a passport the same day? He said he was not sure, that it might take up to 1 week to get my passport. And I did not have that much time to go to Warri and do my passport and then going back again to Warri to collect my passport. So I just thought the stress was not worth it. I thought I would be traveling soon, so I would do my passport in Europe. And getting to Ireland, I decided to apply for the passport in May this year. I filled the application form online and I was given an appointment date to attend the embassy for my document submission. And immediately, I observed that something was not quite right. I was given an appointment date, and the date was the 5th of June this year. And soon after, I realized that this date is a public holiday in Ireland. And I began to wonder why they gave me such date. So I sought someone's opinion. This person told me that perhaps the Nigerian embassy does not go according to the Irish calendar. And being that Nigerian embassy goes according to the Nigerian calendar, and we do not have a public holiday on that day in Nigeria, therefore it is maybe reasonable that they can give a date like that. So I wanted to take this as, well, maybe this is true. I decided also to ring the Nigerian embassy to confirm that this date is valid. I rang and rang, the phone was ringing out. Nobody was answering. And then I did not want to give to be the reason for my delay or the reason for my application being cancelled or whatever. So I decided to take the chance and go to Dublin. I live about 4 hours away from Dublin. So, and the time for application submission, the time that we are required to submit the documents for Nigerian passport was short. So I had to leave early in the morning to go to the Nigerian embassy. I woke up about 3:30 in the morning to prepare myself for the trip, and at 4:20 I left my town. I traveled all the way to Dublin, made it there, and I was on time. So getting to the embassy, I noticed something. There was not even a fly. There was not even a fly. So, and there was nobody, obviously. And then I was like, I hope my eyes are not deceiving me. So I decided to go inside. I passed through the gate. The gate was not locked. I went to the consular section. Believe me, there was nobody. I mean, there was nobody to talk to. It was completely empty and void of people. So I made this video on that date. And I had an appointment. I have an appointment today. I did apply for passport renewal or to get a new passport. And as you can see here, and I'm actually today at the embassy, today being the 5th of June 2017. And coming here, I understand that it's a bank holiday. I saw it when I was making the application, and I was wondering here, 4 hours drive. To my surprise, it is closed. It is completely deserted, and there is nobody to even talk to. So, which means I wasted my time, my money, my sleepless night to get here early because I am just out of words. And I will see where this goes from here. So how this is possible, I don't know. Yeah, this is just what happened at the Nigerian embassy in Dublin. I left what I was supposed to do, and coming here, there is nobody to even talk to. Completely deserted, and I was given an appointment for today. This is the Nigerian embassy in Dublin, as you can see. The gate is closed, locked. There is not a single person to even talk to. And they gave me an appointment to come today. Because right now, as you can see, it's completely empty. There is not even anybody here. How this happened, I just don't know. Now I'm leaving the embassy. This is the empty street of the embassy, and I will have to walk. I don't know for how long to get to a place where I can get a bus to take me to the city center, and then I should be heading home. Well, yes, that was the video I made on that day, and I had no choice than to travel all the way back to where I live. I returned back, and then the next day I tried to ring the embassy. It was still ringing out. Nobody was answering. And then on Wednesday, which was the 7th of June, I rang again. After several attempts, someone now answered the phone, and a very polite lady. I told her, look, this is what happened. I know about Nigerians. If I raise my voice, she would raise her voice. But I tried to talk as calm as possible to make her understand and be empathetic toward my ordeal. And then she was understanding, and she said, I apologize on the behalf of the embassy. It was a mistake on our part that the computer system was issuing a date that was not valid. And she told me that I was not the only one that was caught in this. and that a lot of people have called to complain, and she apologized on behalf of the embassy. I took her apology, and then I said, what do you suggest that I do now? She said, why didn't you come today, yesterday, which was Tuesday? I said, I couldn't because I live far away from Dublin. I do not live in Dublin. And she said, oh, sorry about that. Okay, whenever you can, just bring your documents and we will accept it, because we understand that this was not your fault. So when she said this, I was pleased that I spoke with somebody who was reasonable. And then we hung up. I decided to go to the embassy on Friday of the same week. I packed all my documents and then took the same trip, and not the same way I went before. And getting there, I saw people were collecting their passports, or believe me, most people that just went there were leaving the counter with either a quarrel. I cannot, look, I do not want to exaggerate, but believe me, I did not see anyone leaving the counter with a smile. Everybody was complaining, quarreling, saying all sorts of things about Nigerian embassy. And I waited on queue. When it got to my turn, I presented my documents, and then the lady who was there, she just was like, what is this? I said, my documents for passport. She said, today is not the day for passport application. Come on Monday. I said, excuse me, I rang someone. She said, no, I don't want to hear anything. Come on Monday. I said, excuse me, let me explain what happened. She said, I do not want to hear anything, just come on Monday. And then she was like bypassing me and said, next. I said, excuse me, let me say something. At least hear me. She said, what do you have to say? I said, look, I came here before. Look at the date I actually had the appointment. She said, did you not know that date was bank holiday? I said, yeah, this is what I'm trying to explain. She said, look, I don't want your explanation. There are other people who want to talk to me, so just go away and come on Monday. I said, excuse me, does it not bother you that I traveled all the way from where I live to come here, more than 4 hours drive to get to this place, and yet you're just talking to me like that? She said, if you drive so many hours, how is that my business? You should have known that this is bank holiday. I said, then why is the embassy giving a date that is bank holiday? She said, why are you talking to me about that? Go and complain to the computer. I am not the computer that gave you the date. Go and complain to the computer. I said, so you do not really care that this thing happened? She was just interrupting me, and then she said, go and complain to the computer and not to me. I said, madam, you are rude. She said, oh, you said I'm rude? Meanwhile, she had my documents in her hand, and she had already written a new date of appointment. And then she gave it back to me. I said, look, everything you want me to submit is already here. Why don't you just keep these documents so I would not need to come back next week, because I'm coming from a far place. She said, we do not collect documents today. Go and come next week. And if you want to complain, go and complain to the computer that gave you the date, not me. Go and complain to the computer. That was when I told her, madam, you are rude. She said, oh, you said I'm rude? She just took her barrel and cancelled the date and threw back the documents at me. Take it, go away. I said, are you not going to accept my documents? She said, no, you said I'm rude. And then she went to tell the other man there, I don't want to mention their names. She went to tell the other man and said, this man said I'm rude. And then the man said, how could you tell a woman that she's rude? Do you know that this is very insulting to a woman to tell a woman that she's rude? I said, I did not mean to insult her, and I'm not insulting her. I'm telling her how I felt. She told me to go and complain to a computer. Is that not rudeness? And then the man said, you are still saying that she's rude? So you didn't say anything wrong in you saying that a woman is rude? I said, well, I don't know what you understand by rude. But what I'm saying is, if a woman can tell me to go and complain to a computer, that is rudeness. And then the woman said, so you are still saying I'm rude? Now just go away from here. I'm not going to accept your document. I felt, oh, I was in trouble. There was nobody to complain to. There was nothing I could do. I stood there for a while, thinking of what next I could do. Should I now begin to beg? Should I just go away? Should I write a letter to the ambassador? I said, none of these things will work. Because they do not have good customer service. And so, I saw myself now begging, pleading, madam, please accept this document. She said, I'm not going to accept the document. I said, okay, what do you want me to do? She said, I don't want to talk to you. I have finished with you. Just go away. I thought her new appointment date is really relevant. I began to plead, please do not cancel the date you cancelled. Please put it back. She said, no, I'm not going to write it back. I have cancelled your appointment date, and you said I'm rude. I said, I'm sorry. I did not mean to insult you, but I don't know what you understand by rude. My understanding of rude is maybe different from your understanding of rude. My understanding of rude, the reason I said it is because of how I felt. I felt I was afraid to even mention rude. I said, I felt I was disrespected because you told me to go and complain to the computer. She said, because you were complaining to me. I said, yes, you are a person. I thought you would understand what I'm talking about. And by the way, I called the embassy before I came. The person that spoke to me at the embassy told me to bring the document. She said, bring your documents whenever you can, and we will give it a priority. We are sorry. I said, but you are saying something totally different from what they told me. And had it been that woman that spoke to me on phone did not talk this way, I would not have come here. I came here because of what she told me. And the lady said, you spoke to somebody at the office. I'm here at the counter. So what you said to them at the office is not what I will do here, because I am in a different section from them. I said, but in my mind, I did not look. I was being cautious this time. I didn't want to say something that would offend her any longer, because I just wanted her to write down a new date so I can go back to the town that I live in and come back on that date. And I saw myself pleading and begging her to write the date. So eventually, after waiting for about 1 hour, I'm not exaggerating, my friends, I waited for about 1 hour pleading that she should write down the date of my new appointment. And little did I know that date that she's going to write down was very irrelevant. I could come anytime after that. So eventually she took her barrel and wrote down the date that I should come again. And then I left. And on the date she wrote down, I went back to the embassy. I was there on time and in time. And there were people on queue. And there was this white man. I am not very sure whether he's a white man or Arab, but definitely not one of us. And he was the one giving numbers to people. He gave number. When it got to my turn, he said the number is finished. And then he took their documents and did not take my document. I said, excuse me, what about me? He said, come again next week. I said, excuse me, I am coming from far. Believe me, he did not even want to listen. He acted more like a Nigerian than a European. So this is one of the reasons I am kind of doubtful whether he is a white man. Because even his accent, he didn't speak like with Irish accent. He did not speak like, I know. Anyway, that may not be relevant right now. But the thing is, he definitely behaved like a Nigerian. I tried to reason with this man. I went to him and I said, excuse me, why would you not accept my document at this time? Please try to understand. He would not even listen. He would not even let me finish. All he was saying was come next week. I said, excuse me, I'm coming from far. I don't live here. He said, I know. Please come next week. And then he just left. He behaved like a Nigerian. And then I was thinking, should I go back to my town and come again next time? Look, it's not that I needed this passport desperately. I do not really need the passport for travel. But I just wanted to apply for the passport and have it because it is handy. And I was thinking, is it all over today also? Should I go back to my town? I waited for 1 hour, 2 hours, and nobody would take my documents. And then eventually, I decided to go closer to the counter again. And I tried to plead with one man that I saw. I thought maybe he would reason with me, a black man, a Nigerian man. I spoke to him. He said, I understand what you are talking about. But as you can see, we have backlogs. And the embassy was not open yesterday, so a lot of people have come today. So please just go to your town and come again next week. I said, this thing, apart from the stress and everything, is also costing me money. I understand. Please, you can see that we are busy. And when I saw that this man was not willing to help me and that he had already made up his mind, I just let him go, and then I was standing again, looking for somebody who would reason with me and accept my documents. Everything was with me, just to accept this document and let me go. But they would not even accept them. They wanted me to go back home and then come back again next week. So it became cruel. I saw that as wickedness. But believe me, they would not even care. They don't care. And then, after waiting, there was this woman who was in the section of photography. She was taking photographs of people who are doing their passports. And then, this lady got up from her seat. She went to the other lady who did not take my documents, and she pointed at me, and she was talking to this lady, pointing at me obviously. And then, when I saw her pointing at me and talking to this lady, I said, maybe she's pleading on my behalf or giving instruction or whatever she's doing, I don't know. And then, the lady went back to her seat. And when this lady returned back to her seat, within a few minutes, the woman who was collecting documents decided to accept my documents. And then I was relieved. I went to this lady and I expressed my gratitude. She obviously did not know the kind of help that she helped me on that day. And I was so grateful to her. And then I left and returned back to my town. So I was given a date to come for my passport collection. And on that date, I went to the embassy to collect my passport. Getting there, as soon as I tendered my receipt and my old passport, the woman at the passport section opened the passport and the receipt. She said, your passport is not ready. Come again, maybe next week. I said, please, there is something I want you to do for me. Can you just give me a date that you are sure that the passport will be ready? Because I came today all the way from the town, I mentioned the name of the town where I live in, and I came because of the appointment that I have. So now, the appointment date is also invalid. I have wasted too much money on this. Can you just give me a date that I can come to the embassy and my passport will be ready? And she said, come in the middle of August. And then I decided to go back home. And on Friday, the 18th of August, I decided to return back to the embassy for the 5th time. And my passport this time was ready. And they gave me the passport. And for the lady who intervened to save me on that day, I am grateful to her. I just hope and wish she sees this video. I don't want to mention anybody's name. I don't want anybody to look bad at the eyes of people who attend the embassy. So this is the reason I decided not to mention anybody's name. But in my own heart, this woman who snaps photo, who came to rescue me in that situation, she was and is a hero to me. And I appreciate her presence, I appreciate her intervention, and I appreciate her help. On that date that I went to collect my passport, I took measure to make sure that I see her and to tell her how grateful I was for her help, and I thank her for helping me and for being my hero on that date. Thank you for watching. This was my ordeal with the Nigerian embassy, and I hope that you do not pass through the same thing. Subscribe for more.